Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest episode of Avillion and Brayden Talks. Let me see. Let me look at the calendar. How many more of these do we have in this place? This is the final three. Including this one, we're in the final three. And that
New era.
That last one might be so hectic a week. Well, I'll have to see. We're moving. That's the week we're moving, so I'll have to see what the vibe is and what we're doing. So maybe final two. Maybe we have to skip a week. I'm not sure what that week holds. We'll communicate as I know. But
I love your cup, by the way.
Big fan of the cup. I can't tell. Is it reversed on yours?
No, it's.
It reads okay. Well, then for people here, it's reversed. It says I'm a thirst trap. I think my mom got this at
my
like
own
some
camera
convention.
Too, for me.
Interesting. But yeah. Anyways, some stuff to talk about.
Certainly.
A lot of sports stuff to talk about. This would be a sports heavy pod because shit has been crazy in my sports life. We'll get into it in a second. I think Jacobs has expanded his sports palette. But what's been going on with you, brother? Let's get into you outside of that, and then I figured that could be the main topic, and then we can go into that.
Well, I guess kind of a double header for the main topic as far as sports go, because something insane happened for me and something insane happened for you that I also have a take on, because I always do, of course. You know how that goes.
There's a lot that's been happening sports-wise for me.
Oh, I meant like the most like last night.
Yeah, no, I know what you're referring to. Yeah. And yes, that would definitely be the biggest part of it.
Yeah, last night's shenanigans is more what I was referring to, but I do get that.
Shenanigans is a fun way to word that.
Yeah, chicanery.
We'll get into that.
You know.
But what's been going on with you, brother?
So, independent of sports, doing pretty well. I went on a booze cruise with my dad and my stepmom. Again, my sister was there this time, and then we got dinner afterwards. Now that was.
How old is your sister now?
She's 16.
Oh wow. Okay.
She's almost done with her sophomore year of high school. Yeah, it's fucking insane, right? Think about it. But she's graduating in 2 years. Crazy shit.
Yeah, mine's off in college. My younger sister's off in college.
She's got a job. She's about to get a driver's license. Like,
oh my god.
But I had a pretty busy weekend, or a pretty busy week in general, all things considered, because, of course, Monday through Thursday work, but Friday, my off Fridays are mandatory now. This Friday would have been an off Friday normally, so instead I worked 8 hours overtime. Went home. An hour later, my mom dropped off my sister so that I could go take her to Clearwater. So I got home, took a shower, spot cleaned Clearwater, Florida. It's like a city like right next to Tampa.
It sounded like
it's not like the tourist beach. Nah, it's called Clearwater because of the beaches there are completely clear. Yeah.
Still?
The waters. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I've never been because that's like the tourist beach. So it's like, if you want to go where 5 billion other people are, you can go to Clearwater, or you can go to a bunch of other nice beaches here. So I'm not a beach guy anyways in particular. So
same.
It's not my, I'll go.
Yeah,
but it's never going to be my idea.
No.
I'm never going to be the one to tell the group, hey, we should go to the beach this week.
I'm never going to throw out an idea that is most likely going to wind up with me being shirtless in like around groups of people.
Yeah, fair enough. But what else? Oh yeah, so that night, go on the booze cruise, have a couple drinks on the boat, have some dinner. Damn good burger at this restaurant. Restaurant was called Clear Skies. They had a very nice selection. I had calamari for the first time in like a decade, so it was pretty good. Still bangs. I like calamari. It's good stuff. And then got home at like 11 o'clock. So the whole day pretty much I was out of the house. My cats were probably not happy. Go to bed, wake up at 5:30, go to work. Worked overtime on Saturday too. So I worked 14 hours overtime this weekend as I stayed at work until about noon because my friend and I went to go see Thunderbolts, which you and I will talk about later.
We'll be talking about that later. We got things to
say. And then afterwards we got some food. And then
Did you not end up seeing Sinners?
No, I was too busy this weekend. And then Sunday was Mother's Day, so it was like I was at the house again Sunday afternoon. I went to my mom's
I'll say this: I took my mom to see Thunderbolts. That's what we did.
Hell yeah!
Was not gonna. I recommended her seeing Sinners. I will not be watching
that.
Not
watch that with my mother. No, too many eaters.
I've heard of somebody like going to see that with a sibling, and even then, I'm like, hey, bro, that's Hell no.
Up to you. No, thank you. I'll pass. But whatever. But I think that's about it. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, I got home today. Bowie looked like he had pink eye, so I have a vet appointment tomorrow just to make sure that's nothing crazy. Um, it's I don't know. He can't really. He's not opening it very much. It looked a little inflamed, and what the fuck? Okay, we're back.
Hello.
And
That's
there's a
my
little.
favorite Joe Bartolozzi clip, where he just clicks out and he's like, "Oh, hello, hello."
There's a little bit of like discharge coming out of his eye too. So I'm just making. All right, bro. Come on. I'm talking about my cat's eye infection. All right, settle down.
Settle down.
Not that kind of pussy discharge. Okay, we're talking about something else.
I didn't even I didn't even think about that part of it yet.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But nah. So I just checked, just making sure that that's nothing too crazy. Hi, Onyx. Speaking of cats, but now I think that's it for me. Everything else I need to talk about, I'll talk about later. But so the floor is yours. What's been happening? What's been going on?
Everything just left my brain. I literally had something queued up in my head, and then I immediately forgot. I'll say, it's like it goes my dad's birthday, like right into Mother's Day, like the next week or week and a half later.
Yeah.
I got my dad. Which Elder Scrolls game just got remastered?
Oblivion.
I got him that. That's what I got him.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then Mother's Day, me and my sister went halvesies on like a pasta press thing, and then I took her out to Thunderbolts.
Nice.
Damn, I really had something else queued up like in my head. I hate when that happens. It's not the first time it happens. It's so annoying. We actually spent the beginning, like before we started recording, doing this same exact thing with the top 3 segment.
We had such a banger last week that we thought about, and I don't remember if that was in the footage or not. I'll have to go check after we're done here. Actually, not even after we're done here, because the Mets are playing after we're done here.
Go Mets.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, it might have been before we started recording, but we talked about something that led into this idea for a top 3, and it was such a good idea. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's lost for the time being. Anyways.
Yeah. And then I'll say this Friday, games at a comic book store near me, midnight release of new Pokemon cards. I signed up. You have to sign up. I signed up. I'll be there getting some Pokemon cards. Probably opening some for some like content, like shorts and stuff. And then I might hold on to a couple packs just so I have some whenever we do start the Gen 3 Nuzlocke, which will be fun and exciting. Because I'll be moved by that point. I don't know what all we're waiting on. I think Gabe might join us for this one. He said he might bring that. I'll bring that back up with him.
I'd like that if he could.
If he did, I would enjoy that. But at a minimum, we're waiting for me to be moved before we start that back, and to me finish this video, the full recap video, which I just finally started really working on because maybe this is what I was going to bring up. I finally finished the Too Soon video on Symbiotic Titan. 1 season show canceled too soon. Was it canceled too soon? Spoiler alert! It was. It was really good, really fun watch from Cartoon Network. So that video will be coming out next Saturday. But I think there's like a clip or two I need to cut out for it to be able to be not only monetized but just viewed. It's blocked right now, which is fair. But get that out next week. This week is the things that make Pokemon. That one, the new part of that series is coming out based on a little Pokemon from Kalos. We'll just say that.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, so now I can finally start really focusing in on that video, the Gen 2 Nuzlocke recap video.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm gonna get into it now, like a little bit. This could have gone, and maybe I'll still bring it up again on what we've been on. But I've been playing Pokemon on a Game Boy Advance. I've been playing Pokemon games the way God intended. Dude, something about this, like playing like this, is it hits. And I didn't grow up like playing it like this, really, because I didn't really grow up quite like that playing Pokemon. I played on like on a computer on an emulator, but sitting down, or like I brought this to work one day because I knew we were gonna have like a slow day, like it was like it was like a half day essentially. The other half was like a barbecue that we could go to or stay at the shop. I just stayed at the shop and I was just playing fucking Pokemon. And I was like, dude, this is how God intended Pokemon to be played. I like it on the big screen with the Switch, being able to hook it up to the TV. But I think the biggest thing is the 2D. We talked about this ad nauseum. Like, we've talked about this multiple times.
For the love of God, bring that shit back, please.
And I'll say it again. I was going to, like, downplay this conversation because we've had it before. But nah, fuck it. I'm going to say it again in case ain't nobody heard it because it's the truth. It's what needs to be heard. Pokemon just is better in 2D. But I'll even say what annoys me the most is, like, because it's so successful, they have so much money, like they could make the games they're making now and like a 2D game every couple of years. And I always cite Zelda. That's what Zelda does. You get the big mainline 3D games, they still give us 2D games, or like 2.5D, I guess. But the last two have been like chibi style, which is whatever. But you don't have to be like, all right, we do one style of game.
Yeah.
That is all we do. We either make one style of game or we remake one for one games we've already made.
You could do the new style, though, not in the old style.
Yeah, yeah.
You are Nintendo. You can do more. Have the resources.
And I'll say this, like, because I've said this, we're rehashing shit right now, but people have been like, man, what would Pokemon be like on like the PlayStation? Like, man, are they held back by the hardware? And I'm like, guys, they don't optimize to the hardware they're on right now. They are shitty compared to the games that are on that system right now. Yeah. Like the franchise that you asked that question about right now is Zelda. Like, could Zelda be more on other hardware? Like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, you see, like they're now trying to really push the limits. They've become more adventurous in what they can do.
Yeah.
Pokemon lags behind Nintendo mainline properties in terms of like what they're doing on the system. I don't think people have made those comments really anymore since like maybe since Scarlet and Violet came out. I think maybe people stopped saying stuff like that. But yeah, anyways. I keep saying this. I'm just ready to move and get settled in.
You just let it be done because it's been such a looming shadow for a while now.
It's been months because I was editing up that Symbiotic Titan video, and it was from February is when I'd recorded, because I remember I was recording when I recorded the day after the Luca, like the day I found out about the Luca trade, because there's a couple pauses in there of me going, holy fuck, we did it, we traded Luca, why did we do that, like in the video. But it's this. I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, we were packed up at that point back in February, because it's the same it's the same exact backdrop right here.
Yeah.
So it's been months of this, but soon that will all be done. I think I'm gonna buy a new desk, get a new like organizer for all the consoles I have, because I also still want to keep getting more. I've become really into getting like just trying to get retro consoles like as they were, you know. I mean, emulation consoles are cool, and I think this might not. I think this one is not an original. This one's definitely an original. I have two now. This one fucked me. This one reset my game. But I've got this cool. I'm a Groudon boy, but this was still cool. It's cool Kyogre.
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, I'm Team Groudon, but like, they're still an amazing duo. Legendary.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the best.
One of the best legendary duos.
That's the best duo. That's the best trio, I think. Very excited. Gen 3, we will be interacting with them.
Yeah.
Although I will spoil this for the Nuzlocke recap video. The way it ends is like me being like, man, I really hope, because I was like, man, you know, playing through Johto like this was fun and I really enjoyed it, but maybe my first time truly playing through Johto shouldn't have been a Nuzlocke. But I'm sure Hoenn, I'll enjoy it and I'll have a great time. And then like it cuts to me in this previous Nuzlocke video complaining about all the fucking water sections. I'm like, why do Pokemon do fucking water sections? These things fucking suck. They always fucking suck. And that was in Johto, and there's like one water section for like
it's Tojo Falls, and then yeah,
and then Hoenn, too much water. Infamously, IGN, too much water.
Too much water.
But yeah, I think that's it for me. If we, you want to, me and you used to have common ground on an opinion of a certain sport, and it was in the group chat. It was me and you versus Gabe when it came to baseball, and all of a fucking sudden, you flip teams on me, and this group chat that we're in has become a fucking baseball group chat. To my dismay.
Story time.
Go ahead, brother.
Was in a son of a bitch. Not again. Okay, we're back. I have to press escape every time my screen goes gray. Then I'm teleported back to the two of us. What had happened was, so it was Wednesday last year, 6 days ago. Was talking with some chums of mine about Andor and how incredible the last 3-episode arc was, and how much it's gonna suck that the finale comes out today now. And between the finale being out today and football not being until September, it's gonna be a very long dead period of not having shit to watch. And my good friend Chuck goes, baseball's on every day. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about baseball. And so he goes, you should watch the Mets game today. He's like, we're pretty good. It's fun. Trust me, just watch the game. It's on at 3:40. I'm like, okay. It'll be on while I'll get home at 4. I'll put it on while I make dinner. So I put the game on while I'm making dinner. And I'm glancing back over. And I'm kind of having fun. So when I'm done with dinner, I go to my pewter, power up my pewter, put the game on the pewter. Don't even do anything else. No background. I'm just watching the baseball. It's a damn good game of baseball, and Mets won 7-1. Juan Soto had 2 home runs. Who else? I think McNeil had one. I don't remember who else. Anywho, I had fun. So the next day, Mets didn't play. The day after that, I went on the booze cruise. I couldn't watch the game. The following day, I watched that game, and was not good. We ended up losing that one. Next day, I watched the next game. I won that one. So we beat the Cubs 3-4 in that series. And then I watched yesterday's game. We played the Pirates. Paul Skeens played. Did not pitch his best game. And it took all 9, but the Mets won that one too. And we're playing again in like 8 minutes from now. But anywho, I've enjoyed the baseball. I'm liking baseball, as you can see by the Mets hat. Lifelong Mets fan here. So, yeah, of course, the only sport in the Big Four without a team in Tennessee. So I get to kind of be a free agent. I could have been a Rays fan. I live in Tampa, but I already lived here 6 years. I already don't give a fuck about the Rays. I'm not going to force the issue now, right? So, plus the Mets are great. For one, Mets Twitter is super gay. Great fit.
I said that in the group chat. I was like, you really picked the perfect fan base for you.
And then, well, Chuck was telling me their biggest rival is Philly. I'm like,
really?
You don't got to tell me to root against Philly in any sport regard. Now you're telling me I got a vested interest in hating
not the
Philly?
Yankees?
I'm sold. That's definitely a rival, but they're not in the same division. So it's like, the division rivalries are like the Phillies and the Braves, but the Phillies especially are like the biggest one.
Is that historically or just right now because they're good?
I think historically, it's like that's just the year's worth of beef. Fun fact about the Phillies: of the original 16 baseball teams when the MLB was first established, the Phillies have the worst win percentage out of all of them. So,
damn, you're already slandering a division rival, dude. You're in there.
I've been getting an update on so much lore because I've been building up my my ball knowledge. Me, I gotta the ball. So I've been building up the ball knowledge lately. I was watching this video today about Freddie Freeman. Almost cried a couple times during the video. That man is awesome. You familiar?
I not very vaguely. Like I know. I don't really know much. I just know he has like this insane story.
Well, his mom passed from cancer when he was younger, and then like 2 years later, his dad also almost died. His dad was like, "I'm not feeling well," and that same night, Freddie was like, "You need to go to the hospital." Dad was like, "It's fine, I'll sleep it off." He's like, "No, you're going to the fucking hospital," because he just lost his mom 2 years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, if I feel like you're sick, you should go." So he went. Turns out he had a like congenital heart defect, and had he gone to sleep that night, he probably would have died.
Oh my
So
God.
sure is nice that Freddie made him go to the hospital because he probably saved his life. So they were like, dude, you gotta exercise, you gotta stay in shape, you gotta keep your heart healthy. So what did they do to do that? They did batting practice every single day. Him and his dad, every single day, batting practice. And then Freeman became one of the best hitters in the country as a high schooler. He's still, I think, still one of the best hitters in the MLB. Yeah, he definitely is because I mean, what do you call it? He was a big part of that Braves World Series run a couple years ago when they beat the Astros. Yeah, he hit 2 homers, I think, in the last 2 games in that series. He was with the Braves for a very long time. Actually, he was
12
like,
years, I think.
yeah, well, and it was 12 years, and they at one point when they had a fire sale, they traded every single young piece on the team except Freddie Freeman. And when when the GM was asked about it, he was like, "Yeah, we listen to teams when they ask about Freddie, but we don't really listen." And then the next GM came in, and he said the exact same thing. He's like, "Yeah, I listen, but I don't really listen. I'm not trading Freddie Freeman." And eventually, he held on long enough, and in his 12th season with the Braves, won them a World Series. And then they didn't re-sign him that same year because that was the year of the lockout. So no contact was allowed between teams and players. So free agency didn't open up until like a week before spring training started. So in what normally you'd have, quite a long window to get those negotiations done, they had just a few days before spring training to get the negotiations in. And I guess Freeman's agent gave the team an ultimatum. I don't know if he really talked to Freddie about that because Freddie fired his agent a few months later. But the Braves decided they were going to trade for a different first baseman. So Freddie Freeman signed with the Dodgers. And I think this was just I don't know if this was his last World Series or if it was one before that or whatever. But I know the Dodgers just won this past year. I don't know if this was the one, but what do you call it? Right before the World Series, he sprained his ankle and broke cartilage in his rib. And he also got a standing ovation when he went back to the Braves. And what do you call it? As soon as he got up to plate, they were, everybody was cheering for him, and he was crying a lot. Totally get it. He seems like just such a cool dude. Is what he was like voted like nicest man in the sport or whatever. And then, but he was sprained ankle and fractured rib, so they kept injecting him with painkillers like every 25 minutes of Game 1 of the World Series, and he hit a homer like I think to win. I think it was a walk-off homer at the end of the game, and like gave his dad a hug. It was like a huge thing. But I don't know. I just thought it was pretty cool. Like multiple times. I'm at work. I'm here like end of the day at work, and I almost cried like 3 times just listening to this. But yeah, in general, been getting the lore going, getting the ball knowledge going. Liking a lot of the play. Like I'm finding players I like more on this team. Like finding like my guys. Shout out Brett Beatty, greatest future Hall of Famer Brett Beatty. But Ronald Acuna's younger brother also plays for the team. His name is Luis Angel Acuna, and very good base runner as well as very good second baseman. But I think that's about it. I'm done talking about the Mets. I know you don't like baseball very much. We can talk about
me hating it is like hyperbole. Like I don't actually.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, I tuned in when the Rangers won the World Series. That was a lot of fun.
Right, I remember.
Just got a Pokemon.
That was just a couple of years ago too, right? It was pretty recent.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. I think it might have been the one right before. Maybe it was before the Dodgers won. I don't know.
Yeah, because I think that was the one like between the Braves and the Dodgers. I think I could be wrong, but if there was, I don't know who's all won the whatever.
Well, here, let's just like quickly look it up. Hold on.
Yeah.
MLB.
While you're doing that, I can tell the folks how the NBA shamelessly.
I want to hold on. I need to. I got to do something for that. Let's see. Modern World Series. Okay. Where's just like the order of winners?
That's what I'm saying. Like who won it? I know the Dodgers won it last year. I don't even know who won it before that.
Like the Wikipedia article, like their list of World Series champions. Here we go. This has got to be what I'm looking for. Gosh, 1903. Okay, let's see. So the most recent one was the Dodgers over the Yankees.
Yeah.
And then before that was the Rangers over Arizona.
Okay, and then before that was Braves over Houston?
It was Houston over Phillies, and then before that was Braves over Houston.
Okay, so he had been with the Dodgers for a few years. That was like his third year with the Dodgers. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, all right. Sports wise, for me, it's been pretty well documented on this podcast. Like my whole journey recently with sports.
Yeah.
The Mavericks have had the craziest year ever. Like starting from last year.
Calendar year, yeah.
Yeah, or 365 days, however you want to word it. Starting with Luka being hurt throughout the playoffs, carrying that team to the finals, being the best performer there, and losing.
Yeah.
Bleeding from his knees, clearly hurt. You could tell how badly he wanted it. Gave everything he had. They lose in the finals.
Yeah.
Which sucks. But it's like, hey, this is an all-time great player. He'll be back. The Mavs will be back. They have a great roster around them. They just needed some shooting. They signed Klay Thompson in the offseason, and this season's a go. The season from hell begins. The season starts off kind of fine. Like the Mavs are doing pretty good. I think they peaked at like the second team in the West. Christmas Day against the Timberwolves, Luka gets hurt, and he's out for a good while. He limps off the basketball court, which would unfortunately be his last time as a Dallas Maverick. His last time as a Dallas Maverick is limping off of the court. Devastating. That game happens. I think Derek Lively even ends up getting hurt later on down the season. So the team is not doing too well. We're kind of battling through injuries. Everybody seems to keep getting hurt. And then February 2nd happens, or February 1st. I can't remember the exact date. The Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. The worst trade in the moment, because obviously this is within the moment. There are probably trades that, because first of all, we don't even know how this one plays out yet, and like there's stuff about like, oh, in hindsight, this team traded this player as a throw-in. That ends up being Kobe Bryant. That ends up being like Babe Ruth. Or Babe Ruth wasn't this, but then he became that. You just don't. But in the moment, worst trade ever. You trade the face of a franchise, as someone who had spent his entire career there. Every year but his rookie year had been first team All-NBA, top 5 player in the world. Previously carried your team to the finals on his back, completely injured, and you trade him because you question his heart. You trade him because you don't think he wants it. You question him because of his work ethic. Insane. Because also what that implies is you think he lazily became a top 3 player in the world.
Yeah.
You lazily think for 5 years straight he was consistently voted as a top 5 player in the world.
Yeah.
You trade him away for a first-round pick, Max Christie, and Anthony Davis, who is a Hall of Fame player that is past his prime and is insanely injury-prone.
Yes.
For a 25-year-old at the time, now 26, in my opinion, should have been the MVP the previous season. I genuinely think he was robbed. You trade him away, and the worst part of the whole thing is because you want to say hey, it's a sport. We're doing what's best for the team. It's a business. It made no sense in any of those contexts. If it's a business, you don't trade away your cash cow. You don't trade away a top 10 jersey seller every year. You look at the jerseys, you see the sales numbers, you see him consistently at the top, especially number 1 for your franchise. He's the reason you sell tickets at home. He's the reason people come to watch. So it doesn't make sense from a business perspective. It doesn't make sense from a basketball perspective because he's like I said, top 3 player in the world. I think he's the best scorer in the NBA. I think he's the best passer in the NBA. He's the best. I think he's the best rebounder at his position. He's good at disrupting passing lanes. I think he's a decent help defender, at least in the post. I think he's a good post defender when he wants to be. Yeah. Just an icon, truly. And also what he meant in the terms of the legacy of the Mavericks. The Mavericks had Dirk Nowitzki. 20 years. consistency, loyalty to the fan base, to the franchise. That torch got passed to Luka Doncic very clearly.
Yes.
And then you extinguish it by trading him.
Yeah.
Teams have identities. A lot of organizations have identities. The Lakers, it's the Showtime, it's the Flash. The Pistons, it's the grit. It's the bad boy Pistons. That identity is not just the '80s team. It extended to the 2000s team. And I think when the Pistons are at their best, that's what you think of them as. The grit and grind from the Grizzlies era.
Yeah.
Like teams have identities. The Mavericks' identity was loyalty because of what happened with Dirk Nowitzki. It was loyalty, and then that got stripped away. We kind of became a franchise without an identity. The identity now is that we have the worst front office in the NBA. Maybe not from terms of total incompetency, because, hey, they were able to build a good team. We've seen them go to the finals, whatever. But when you do what you did, you completely betray your fan base so directly. Like, other teams, like, they hurt their fan base by being stupid. What the Mavs did was just dishonest. Like, it was terrible. All time, like, the worst trade that ever happened. That happens. AD comes, he plays half a game, it looks incredible, gets hurt. The biggest problem everyone had with the trade was that the guy you got back, you know you can't rely on to play. He plays half a game, looks incredible, you see the upside, and he's hurt.
Yeah.
Then, the one guy who was kind of steadying the ship throughout this whole season and through this whole Luka dilemma was Kyrie Irving. A distressed asset that you as a front office hit on by deciding to take on, and it working out incredibly. And he tears his ACL. Devastating. And what happens the next day after Kyrie tears his ACL? The Mavs announced that they are raising ticket prices. I don't want people to forget that part of this whole story.
No, it matters.
After everything that happens, they raise ticket prices. I already have a problem with a lot of these like ticket prices. I like everybody. But my biggest problem is when taxpayers pay for stadiums and then pay for the tickets to go to the stadiums that they've already paid for.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. But anyways, that all happens. The Mavs make the play-in. They lose. They have a 1.8% chance in the NBA lottery.
Yeah.
This team has no direction, really, because you're going to be without Kyrie Irving for at least half the season. They say until January, but who knows how he looks when he comes back. You have AD coming off an injury this year. We'll see how he looks this year. You've gotten older and worse as a team by losing Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Directionless. And then the craziest draft lottery in NBA history. I'll say it right now. 1.8% chance. The Dallas Mavericks won the NBA draft lottery.
Yeah.
They won the rights to Cooper Flagg, who isn't the best prospect we've seen in the previous years, because we've seen Wemby. I don't think as a prospect he's what Zion was, at least hyped up to be.
I don't know about hype, but in terms of like actual basketball ability, I don't think that's insane to say he's at least on Zion's level.
Because to me,
Not
he's
that
3.
Zion wasn't an incredible prospect, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I think those two are kind of interchangeable.
It depends on how high you have Cooper Flagg.
Regardless, the gap isn't very. I don't think.
No,
the
to
gap
me
is
he's
large.
3, and that's the 3. That's the top 3. Cade Cunningham is probably like maybe 4th, but that's
He's
where
close,
a fall off
yeah.
is.
I don't think Ja's too far off either. I think he goes 1 in most years without Zion.
That's fair, but I think because you get overshadowed by one guy, it's harder to.
Certainly. Well, I would have taken Cade over Ja, like as prospects.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think everyone we're naming out now, I still would have taken over Ja, but that might be the next guy in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's not like as crazy as winning the lottery and getting Wemby, but you get it depends on how you want to use the word generational, but at the very least you get just in a year in a good draft on the top, you get the clear number 1 guy who
true
is
blue chipper, I'll say.
True blue chip,
generational, but true blue chip guy.
Doesn't really have a flaw in his game. You could question like how good certain aspects really are, but there's not a flaw in his game. The thing I'm hearing about him is he's NBA ready. He's a floor raiser. He comes in as like what he is like a generational. If you're gonna say anything about him, generational wing defender prospect.
Yeah.
You get a guy who's gonna be a great connective passer, can score on his own. Can play off, is going to be an off-ball guy. This isn't like a guy coming in who needs the ball all the time. He can play off-ball. Right. I've already kind of, I've been on this like ever since the Wemby draft. I've been kind of like, okay, maybe the lottery is rigged. It's getting hard to not think it is, especially after this. The NBA saved the Dallas Mavericks organization because I said this with Kyrie out the beginning of the year. The first game AD misses with injury, Mavs fans would have burnt the fucking stadium to the ground.
Yeah.
So you get Cooper Flag to keep, because Dallas is what, 4th in population in the United States or something like that.
It's
They're
high
up
enough
there.
to where you give them preferential treatment.
It's like okay, this is a market we cannot lose.
Yeah.
It is too valuable. It's rigged. It's 100% rigged. I 100% believe this was rigged. This is insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a part of the Luka trade, like some people are saying. Like I don't know about that. I'm not saying it's not. I'm open to a lot of different things right now because there's a couple theories. There's 2 theories that I think could be either they said, hey, we need to get the last bit of LeBron we need the Lakers to have a future. Mavs, you're going to have to trade Luka to the Lakers. We will give you the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft. Or, and this might be what I'm leaning towards, that trade was sincere and it was Nico Harrison's pettiness and his genuine disdain for Luka. He makes that terrible trade and then the NBA goes, shit, like this is the craziest hit to a fan base that's ever happened in sports. It was insane, the reaction to this trade, and I felt all of it. I've cried on this podcast because of how much I felt it.
Certainly.
It's very true. We need to keep this fan base alive. We have to give them the number 1 pick. Otherwise, we're going to be losing a major market here. Top 5 population city, I think. We can't lose that. We have to give them the number 1. That's what I think happened. That is my guess.
Yeah.
You had a thought.
My guess here. I think the NBA wanted Luka in LA one way or another. And the reason I say this is because LeBron's got maybe 3 years left at this point, right? I mean, he's still playing good basketball, but like athletically, clearly it's beginning.
Yeah.
Like he does not have the vertical he used to. He does not have the speed he used to. There is not necessarily decline in basketball ability, but in just the superhuman shit that he does is happening less frequently.
Sure.
And it's just at the end of the day, it's not gonna last for like nobody. Like, yeah, we thought Brady was gonna play until he was 60. At the end of the day, Father Time has never lost.
I still think Brady. I think if Brady hadn't stopped, I think he could be playing right now. I wholeheartedly believe that.
He'd be playing decent football. Yeah, I don't think he'd be like the kind of guy who is going to get you over the hump like he was when he signed.
I think if you obviously you need a team around any quarterback, but I think that if you put a team that can get into the playoffs once you're there, I still wouldn't be picking against TB12.
But like LeBron's not gonna be around forever. Like I said, Luka was 25 when they traded him. They needed they needed a young, bona fide superstar in LA at the end of the day, because that is the jersey sales shot up to number 1 overnight for Luka. Because obviously,
I still need to get one. Lakers. I want to get a purple one.
Yeah, it's Lakers. It's Luka Doncic. It makes perfect. It's a top 3 to 5 player, and he's in the biggest market in the sport right now. Yeah. I think the NBA needed that for them. They thought they needed that, and I think the thought process. Now, I think maybe I don't know how it would have been facilitated as far as the NBA making sure this happens, but if you're Adam Silver, you're thinking, well, if this trade works out for the Mavericks and they make the playoffs and they do well, the fans won't go anywhere anyways because the team's still good, and if they do miss the playoffs, we'll just give them the number 1 pick. So. Regardless of whether the NBA had some kind of hand in getting Luka to LA or not, which I firmly believe they did, this was 100% rigged. There's no question about it.
There's just certain things that have and it's not. It's also because it's not an isolated thing with the draft lottery.
No. When LeBron left Cleveland got the first, but like this is not the first time they've done it.
When the whole AD saga was going down, Pelicans got the number 1 pick.
You know how they got AD? After they traded Chris Paul, they got the number 1 pick. After they traded AD, they got the number 1 pick.
I joked about this at the time because I was like, I don't think this matters because I don't think the lottery is rigged. I made this exact joke to you. I remember making this to you. But when that Pelicans draft, when they got the number 1 pick, they were like the lowest revenue team in the league. They got the number 1 pick. The Grizzlies were the second lowest. They got the number 2 pick. I remember making the joke to you. I was like, coincidence? I think so. But now I'm like, you know what? You know what? I don't think so anymore.
I don't think they rig it every year. That's the thing.
Not every year. I've heard this. I don't think it's.
It's something they do when they feel like they need to step in.
I think the Spurs have in such insane lottery luck.
Kawhi and then Wemby.
Well, it's not even the Kawhi one. It's like Tim Duncan, Kawhi, or Tim Duncan, Wemby. I think they get rewarded for being this small market team that shows people how to make it work.
Yeah.
And like being like, you never hear anything bad coming out about that organization besides the Kawhi training staff stuff. But that no, I think they got rewarded for being a model organization.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think maybe, I don't know. I mean, Detroit getting Cade, they're so bad. That one's likely of like.
Yeah, but you got to think they got the 5th overall pick 2 years in a row as well, though. After being the worst team in the league in 2 years in a row, they got the 5th overall pick too. Speaking of the Wizards, just got the 5th overall pick.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the Jazz just got the 5th overall. I think the Wizards have 6.
6? Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my God! But do you know? Oh, I think Soda's about to go home. Do you know?
There's something about next year's top prospect in NIL.
No, I'm saying the worst, the only actual bad team picking in the top 3 is the fucking Sixers.
Right.
It's Philly.
Yep, a big brand.
They couldn't give an ethical team like Toronto or Charlotte or Washington the 3rd pick. They had to go with the fucking Sixers.
Quick side note: if I'm Philly, I'm committing to the youth movement, and I'm trading Embiid and seeing if I can get off Paul George. Please. And I'm going around. I'm building around the number 3 pick, which is a high. There's a lot of. I'm not a draft guy. I heard there's a lot of high end talent there. The number 3 pick, it could be a 2 in another year. It would have been 1 last year. Like that guy, Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey. Build around those 3 because Jared McCain would have been Rookie of the Year if he hadn't gotten hurt. He was lights out to start the year, which is so glad because I loved him in the draft process and going into it because I just loved his personality and I'm 2 days into college and I'm 3 lectures. I love that video so much. His voice is amazing.
I think he's funny. Yeah,
so I'm a big Jared McCain guy. So, anyways,
I think
they need to trade Embiid, keep him in the Eastern Conference because the West is too fucking stacked. Now that the Mavs get Cooper Flag now as well, and Giannis going to go to the Spurs with the number 2 pick?
He's not staying in Milwaukee. I know that much. He's not staying in Milwaukee.
I wouldn't rule that out.
I don't think it would take a lot. It would take I don't know exactly what it would take, but it would take quite a bit of commitment from the organization.
It's just they're in a bad spot. I mean, I don't know what they do.
But not even to mention Spurs getting the 2nd pick. Are we fucking serious?
Yeah, that would have been the number 1 talked about thing. If the Jazz, the Wizards, the Hornets, somebody else, if they had gotten the number 1 pick, everybody would be talking about the Spurs getting number 2.
Yeah,
but that's not what happened.
The Mavs were like a game outside the playoffs. They got Cooper Flag. Yeah, the Spurs were not very far.
They were in the play-in.
Yeah. The Spurs, another injured playoff team.
The Spurs,
they get the 2nd pick.
Because the Spurs jumped up 6 slots.
Yeah, Wemby gets a running mate now. Are we fucking serious?
Whether it's Giannis or the number 2 pick.
Both or whatever. Who cares? We'll probably have to trade the number 2 pick to get Giannis.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is shameless. It's shameless to give Philly the 3rd pick and all of the if you imagine being a Hornets fan, a Jazz fan, a Kings fan, a Wizards fan, why the fuck would you even watch basketball, Lane? You are never going to get out of purgatory. The league does not care about you. They are never going to throw you a bone because these are not teams that are in markets that can attract free agents. You have to build through the draft, and they're never given the picks that they should be getting based on the way they finish.
I'll say this though, those teams suck. As an organization, they're not ran well. Any good organization digs themselves out of that hole to some degree. You at least get into the Bulls because they're in a really bad purgatory. You at least pull yourself into a Bulls purgatory. Yeah. So that was one thing I do agree with because a couple years ago, a year or 2 ago, I guess 2 years ago, the Mavs tanked the last 2 games of the season, and people act like it was a travesty when there are teams like some of the ones you mentioned that tank either at least half the season or the whole year, and it's shameless, but people don't give a fuck. And then also, I was watching one guy react to it, and it was the media's upset that the Mavs won the lottery. Where the fuck did you want Cooper Flag to go? Washington? You want his
Yes!
career to die there? Fuck out of here. And I kind of agree.
I want those teams to have a chance. Like, I don't want those teams to get stuck picking 5th, 6th, 4th, 7th overall every single year. I like give me like Toronto getting the first pick next year.
Toronto, I give you
an ethical Hoopers team.
Toronto, I give you, but the other teams show some competency before I pity you. And then also, the front office for the Mavs did not deserve the number 1 pick. The fan base 100% did.
Yeah, the fan base has been through hell. They absolutely, you gotta get one sauced up white boy. You gotta meet the quota.
That is, Dirk to Luka to Flag.
There was a transition period, at least with Dirk and Luka. They were both on the team for a year. You had to trade Luka mid-season, so yeah, now you gotta get.
But each season will have one, because he was still there for the part of the season. So each season has a. Yeah, but So I mean, I feel bad for their fans, but I don't really feel bad that like the Wizards or the Hornets, because the Hornets, like, you have LaMelo Ball and you have Brandon, like you have like the guys that you would be getting from this spot. So you got Alex Sarr, who we'll see for the Wizards. I don't feel bad for them at all. Jazz would have been fun. The Jazz were actually the team I wanted him to go to. I did want the white American to stay in America, which is the only reason I didn't want the Raptors to get it. It would feel a little anticlimactic. It's like, oh, finally, like people kept making stories about like, oh, is this the first American superstar potential since Larry Bird? And it depends on how harsh you are. Well, if you're a superstar, yes, he's the only one since Larry Bird with that potential. But just white American star, it's like Gordon Hayward for a season, and then like Kevin Love. Kevin Love is the only like white American star since Larry Bird.
Yeah.
I guess John Stockton, but there's overlap there.
Yeah.
So
like in recent, there's not a whole lot, is there?
I will say this: the only thing that's going to annoy me is like a white American player. Like, he is going to attract a terrible. And I don't even think it'll be the majority of his fan base, but there's going to be a lot of bad people in his fan base. Yeah. Which is funny because the same thing also kind of happens like with like Caitlin Clark has had it a little bit. Paige Beckers will probably have it. That's the other thing. The Dallas just won the draft for both the NBA and the WNBA in the same year. Yeah. And both had like one of them had like generational with Paige Beckers, and the other one had like borderline generational with Cooper Flag. Yeah. And by the way, I had settled in on still being a Mavs fan but being a Luka fan at the same time. So I'm able to kind of enjoy this. This really has reinvigorated me. I won't lie, back into like sports.
I'm glad it did. I'm happy for you. Like, genuinely, I don't think Mavs fans have anything to like they should be feeling bad about. Even if you, as a Mavs fan, wholeheartedly believe it's rigged, it's not your fault. You
of course, yeah.
You should feel no shame in enjoying this. It's not. You didn't do this. But
it's like we had to endure. We
can have an honest conversation.
I'll say it. We endured the worst season. I think we've endured the worst season a team has ever, because it's like injury for one team. It's like, damn, that sucks. That happens. It's part of it. But like, hey, maybe they can get healthy, or hey, maybe we enjoyed their. They leave in a bittersweet way. Yeah. We got our hearts ripped out. Yeah. Our best player got just ripped from us. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, a lot of the relationships I have developed like, I would say like sophomore year of high school on. Like, that's when me and you had already met, but that's when we had a class together. That's when a lot of my friendships really formed. You know who got drafted that summer before? Luka. Luka has been the most consistent thing of my life, and has been with me longer than most of my meaningful relationships in life. And he got ripped away from me. Yeah. But I've been very much reinvigorated back in sports with getting Cooper Flag, Paige Beckers. I think the WNBA season starts this Friday. That'll be fun. The Stars are playing well right now in the playoffs. Mikko Rantanen is a monster of a man. That's who I named my starter after. We'll get into that later a little bit more in Fire Red here. Although I'll have to talk about my team when we get there, because it's something funny. It keeps happening. Something that kind of happened to you a little bit in one of our Nuzlocke, the most recent Nuzlocke, but that the George Pickens trade, I'm excited for. Like
I was going into that. That's good shit.
I was in a dark spot sports wise, and I'm just like, I'm back. Daddy's home.
Is that like that was that? I think that was the day after we had just talked about like. Did you text Esai about the Pickens trade?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I texted. Yeah, it was the next day. I literally actually yes.
The day
No,
before, and
because
the very next day you trade for George Pickens.
Because what I texted him. Hold on. Oh, he's right here. What did I text him? We talked about. Oh yeah, we talked about basketball for a minute here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I texted him. Well, the receiving core just got better. He was like, "Can't believe it." And then and then I texted him Mavs baby, and he said most rigged shit I've ever seen.
No shot, no question about it. That's okay. But
and then I told him that like, yeah, how do you think the Spurs got Wemby? And he's like, no, that was real. I was like, shut the fuck up. No, it was not.
The Spurs getting Wemby was rigged, and so was Spurs getting second this year. It's okay.
Oh, and then I told him, I was like, Wemby's gonna go to the Lakers too, and he's like, we're not the Mavs. And I said, it's not about the Spurs. It's about the number one. It was about top drafted big men going to the Lakers. It's like Shaq did it, Dwight Howard did it, Kareem did it, Wilt did it, AD did it. Pau Gasol was third overall, and he did it. I said that at work today. I was like, man, Luka to Wemby in 2031 is going to hit like crack. Yeah, it's Dallas Sports is back up. They put the word back. We actually, because we never, one organization went the fuck down, but like the WNBA was looking promising. The Stars are like have been the most consistent team in Dallas for a hot minute now. Like that's been the team to like root for in Dallas.
Yeah.
It was just 2 years ago the Wings were in the Final Four for the WNBA. You get Paige, you get Reek. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm fully bought in with the Stars. I think they're about to win the Stanley Cup. I honest to God do. We have a man on a mission on a disgusting heater right now. Dallas, the Cowboys will be fun. I don't think they're going to do anything because it's still a Jerry Jones ran team, but like, fuck it, man. He knows how to at least put an interesting product out there. And Mavs.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
That was my final thing. Was fuck it, Mavs.
Okay.
Although the front court defense, I've talked about this, is going to be disgusting. It is going to be disgusting because you'll have Cooper Flagg, AD, and like Derek Lively as the starting front court, and then as of right now, you would then rotate in PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, and Daniel Gafford.
Yeah.
As the second, that's disgusting. That is a top 5 defense. I don't give a fuck what the backcourt looks like. That is a top 5 defense off that alone. Suffocating paint. But yeah. Hey, glad to be enjoying sports again. I want to get either a Miko Rantanen jersey because he's the player on the Heater right now, or Jake or Ottinger jersey, who's the goalie who I've enjoyed for a couple years. And then I think I'm going to get like a bootleg Cooper Flagg jersey or Kyrie Irving or Derek Lively. Somebody. I'm not buying official Mavericks merch. That won't change. It's still fuck Nico Harrison. Yeah.
Real MLB hats are like $40 minimum. This is a $20 replica hat.
Because while I'll continue to be a fan of the Mavs, it will forever be fuck Nico Harrison and fuck the Adelsons, the new owners. Yeah. Dumont.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still hate those people. But hey, I'll enjoy the team. Fuck it.
Yeah. In terms of being reinvigorated by sports, I am truly enjoying my newfound love for the Mets. Been thinking maybe about getting a Francisco Lindor jersey. I think that might be on the docket at some point. I don't know how much MLB jerseys are. I might get a jersey shirt or something.
Yeah.
I'll take a gander at that. But
unfortunately, the Paige Beckers jersey will be cheaper comparative to other jerseys.
Yeah.
WNBA jerseys are not as expensive as others.
Good.
Which for my wallet, thank God. For women, what that means, not as much.
Yeah. What do you call it? There's plays in baseball that feel like football. Brett Beatty's at bat right now. Like there was
lesbian
in this game just now, a little bit ago. With only one out, the Pirates hit a triple. That was on third base, well in scoring position at that point. That's like when the other offense gets like an opening drive, like 60-yard run or whatever, and all of a sudden they're like either in the red zone or right next to it. They're in field goal range. So you're like, well, fuck, that shit sucks. and then you get 3 outs before they get the chance to get that the third baseman to home. And it's like, well, that's like getting a red zone turnover. Because it looked
you
like
talked
they were
about
gonna
this. You
score
said
at
like
least
there's
one.
certain plays in baseball that feel like football to you.
Yeah. Like if I translate it in my head, it makes baseball more fun. I'm like, damn, that's like getting a red zone turnover just now.
How long
Awesome.
are the games? Did the pitch count help? Clock help?
Yes, they are about 3 hours generally, maybe a little
Okay.
shorter, a little longer if
Yeah,
it's an
so
extra inning game.
that ends
I
up being
watched-
about on par with football.
Yeah. Oh baby, it's a fly out.
But also, because the reason football's so long is the commercial breaks, which is
Yeah.
annoying for some. But with how I watch stuff,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh cool, this is when I eat. Oh, this is when I go take a piss. Like when you're like dedicated to it, like you end up knowing how to fill that time with genuine stuff. So it's not even like a negative. Or if you're into Red Zone, I like Red Zone. I don't think you do, but I enjoy Red Zone.
It's okay, but I get why people like it. It's nothing.
Like if my team's not playing, that's what I'm watching because it's like it's constant. You're bouncing around enough. You're like you get your taste of it, of all the different games. I think Chris Hansen does a great job as the announcer.
Is that his name?
It's similar.
Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen.
Scott Hansen.
Yeah.
I know who you are, Chris Hansen. See, I call you Chris Hansen.
I was like, for some reason, I thought they had the same first name, but like,
I'm like, hey man, I don't think that's.
You're like, something's off. Something's off. Yeah, it's Scott Hansen.
No
No relation.
Scott Hansen.
Scott
No
Hansen.
relation.
No relation.
Uncle Ruckus, no relation. Nah. I'm not a big. Well, what's cool about baseball is not as many commercials in baseball. It is mostly just ball. And yeah, there are definitely times when there are more boring games. Like there are games that will kind of lull you into a sleep a little bit. But those are usually good. Like right as it happens, some shit's gonna happen in one of the last innings, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, wait a second, what just happened? So it's a good sport to have on in the background, and it's good to watch. If you want to watch it. What I've been doing a lot of lately is I've been playing MLB The Show while I'm watching baseball, and I'm double fisting baseball.
Jesus, man!
I'm chasing the baseball with more baseball.
I've been denying the truth for so long. I need to catch up. I
gotta have baseball. So,
gosh, this is your worst era.
In terms of career mode, by far it's the best of any sports because
I just don't like sports games.
No, I'm not a huge fan either, but this one's actually good. Like, and in comparison to the rest of them, this one's like just a genuinely solid game.
Besides Madden Mobile, I never got into any.
Start out in high school, you can go to college if you want, but if you're a good enough prospect out of high school, you may as well just stick with your draft. It's like on my second career mode that I did. I was drafted in the first round, 24th overall. I'm already a first round pick. I'm not going to college. Like, I'm already drafted in the first round. I'll just go to play baseball. So you start out in the minors, you start out in the AA, and then you go to AAA, and then you get called up to the MLB. But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
Gross.
I don't know. I like it. I'm liking the baseball. I'm liking the baseball. Especially, like, I hit a walk-off home run yesterday in the show. It was 2-0. It was the 9th inning. 2 guys on base. I hit a home run. It was 3-2. We won. So, like, I don't know. Baseball's awesome sometimes. But do we want to do top 3? Or no, fuck. What the fuck? No.
Cut deep.
Yeah. So I'm getting all the segments mixed up.
I mean, it's 3 cards, so
Top 3 cutting deeps. Yeah.
All right, icebreaker. Go out or stay in? Stay in.
Both of them. I don't know. Like I like staying in.
Staying in with friends. That's peak, obviously.
I like going out with friends too. It's both of them. Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I like both of them. I'm not picking this. Lame question. I'm not picking.
No, I'm not. Anyway, it's easy for me. Stay in. For sure.
Oh, I get it.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Lose the ability to lie or believe everything you're told.
Lose the ability to
Obviously,
lie.
lose the ability to lie.
No question about it. No, hell no.
I'm not gonna believe everything I'm told. That's fucking ridiculous.
Especially in the internet age, dude. Imagine how brutal that's got to be.
Yeah. Also, because then it's like, okay, you just become really specific with how you word things, even if you're trying to be dishonest. Like maybe, I don't know, you always just skirt around whatever you're trying to not say or whatever. Just become the ultimate filibuster.
Yeah. No, thank you. So.
Okay, deeper.
Just leave it. Yeah.
What's something you're really proud of?
My friend Brayden.
Okay. Nah,
Yeah.
you gotta do something else.
Genuinely, my little sister.
It's something, not someone.
Person is a thing.
I guess, but yeah, okay. Well, because if that counts, then it's like, yeah, sure. Like, I'm really proud of my sisters, too.
I don't know. Well, let's see. What am I...
Like, something you've done. Let's do something you've done or, like, are directly responsible for.
I don't know. Proud of my growth, I guess, as, like, a human. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
way
I think
I treat people now versus the way I treated people when I was younger. I think, yeah, definitely.
for sure. I think my favorite accomplishment I've ever done all time is getting Eagle Scout. That took a lot of work to do and get.
Yeah.
A more recent thing. God, man. I'll just say some of the videos that are coming out like this week and next week. I think and this previous week the Nuzlocke Journals video had come out. I'm pretty proud of those 3 videos. I really hope these next 2 perform better than that Nuzlocke Journals video though.
I haven't even tapped into that one yet. I gotta get that.
That one's at like 76 views, no comments.
Tragic. Okay, I'll comment on that one.
Yeah.
Somebody gets the ball rolling.
Ball. Yeah. Feel free to comment on the next 2 as well. Next 2 Saturday videos, because the Saturday videos are always the ones I care about the most, because those are the big ones. Yeah. Did you want to do wavelength?
I'm okay with skipping it today.
Dude, normally I fight you on that, but
I'm just not feeling wavelength.
I'm losing the love for the day. Do we want to cut it?
We can discuss that over the week if we need to, as far as cutting it. It's like it's hard to come up with new questions every single. I don't want to ask the same 5 questions every week.
Yeah,
right? But it's really hard to go in and be like, let me find the most esoteric fucking out of left field, but like that you're also
especially because it's in the moment. Neither of us are thinking about wavelength questions on like Thursday. Like it's always in the moment. We're like, oh,
well, and then not only do you have to come up because you don't want to ask a boring ass question, right? But if you have to come up with something ridiculous, and then also still expect the other person to be able to provide an answer that is going to give you an assessment of what the number is, like. Mm-hmm. Shit's not easy. So
we might need to put it up in the rafters. We're gonna hang its jersey, but we might retire it.
That's fine. We can retire. I'm not a big jersey retirement guy. We can retire the jersey. I think it's a good segment. It has had its moments, but it's not my favorite to do, and it's not. I don't know. I don't love it.
It might be. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we might have to hang it up in the rafters.
That's fine.
I think that's what we're gonna do.
I guess okay.
I'll try to prep something next week. We'll send it off. Yeah. We'll do one last wavelength next week.
Yeah.
Prepare some questions. We'll try to prepare some questions. We'll do one last wavelength, and then we're gonna retire it.
Yeah, we can give it a proper send off.
But yeah. So do you just wanna? Did we pick a top 3?
Yes. Game consoles.
Yes.
Sorry, spoiler alert for the. Hang on. Game console.
Top 3 of the week. Game consoles.
Yes, sir. Game consoles.
So let's kick it off with you, brother. What is your number 3?
I'm gonna go go with the PS3.
Okay.
It's not the
I
PS3.
played that a little bit at a friend's house. Did not have my own.
I'm gonna put that one. A lot of early like GTA memories, like with my dad and my brother. Like whenever we'd go to my dad's for the summer, we would play GTA at night a lot. One time my dad was pretty drunk while we were playing GTA, and he laughed so hard that he fell over on his bar stool. Didn't injure himself at all, so it was still funny. But that shit was hilarious because I don't remember what it was that was so. We had so many great moments of like playing GTA with my dad and my brother on the PS3. I still have that PS3. It's sitting right here.
Whoa.
Yeah, because that's where I do. Now I haven't played this since I bought the new one, but all of my what he calls it, uh, college football revamp, like because I had the modded NCAA 14 on. So I was able to sell my copy for like $80 because I have it burned onto my PS3 now. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
It keeps my screen for some reason. My screen just keeps going green. I have to like press escape and then come back. Look at this bitch though. Yeah, that's my number 3, sir.
My number 3 is right here. I was trying to think of my number 3, and I looked down, and I was like, oh, yeah, it would be you. Actually, I'll just see if I can pick it up. That's not good.
Once again survived another inning where somebody was on third base.
I'll just show a game from it. I went with the N64. This is one that I literally just stumbled across. I opened a drawer in the house one day, and I found my dad's, which is this one still is his old N64 with a couple games. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Ended up hooking it up, playing it, falling in love with the game. Let me see. It should be this one right here. Nope. That is a different one that I can tell a quick story on as well. Lost to Time. I don't know. It's somewhere around here. Army Men Sarge's Heroes, little plastic Army Men shooting game that was a lot of fun. One of my favorite games of all time, Ocarina of Time. That I just started playing on the channel, Couch Gaming. Check that video out. A lot of fun. And then I remember going to a retro game store and seeing this game, Pokemon Snap.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, is this like a regular Pokemon game? Or maybe it's like Pokemon Stadium, because I had played that at my cousin's place. And then I booted this one up, saw what it was, and went, what the fuck? And didn't play it. Because I was just so blindsided by it. But the N64, a lot of good memories. Once I get through the Wii Vault, it'll probably be 64, or maybe I probably won't finish every fucking Wii game, but at some point I might feel satisfied enough to start maybe like the 64 Vault or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to most about this move, is starting to stream Wii games again. But anyways, N64, my number 3, your number 2, sir.
Number 2. I'm gonna go with the DS Lite. This is the game that introduced me to Pokemon. That's really all I need to say about that.
That's enough.
That's number 2.
That's valid. That's more than enough. My number 2, I went with the first game console ever had. It was the family's. Was the Wii. I think one of my earliest memories that I still might be coming out of my room with my siblings and seeing the Wii there with Mario Kart Wii next to it with the steering wheels next to it. That was huge. First game console ever had, ever played on. Fell in love with Mario Kart Wii. Still my favorite Mario Kart ever. And now on this channel, it has a huge life with the Wii Vault, which hopefully coming back soon. But for a while, was the main series on this channel.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I might even look into getting some of the different like Pokemon games that were on the Wii. Yeah.
Battle Revolution, if you do. Battle Revolution.
Yeah. Park or Pikachu Park or something like that was also there. But yeah, definitely the Wii number 2. Your number 1, sir.
Number 1. We'll go with the Xbox One. It's the console I dumped the most time into. It's the console I made a lot of friends on. Like most of my gaming memories are from the Xbox One. So, big shout outs. Um, yeah, that's probably about it. Don't got a whole lot to say though.
Okay, my number one then. Um, the first console I ever bought. I bought this at 14, the day it came out. I remember saving up for it because I remember just always reading about all the rumors about the next system that I could when it was called the Nintendo NX.
Yeah.
My favorite console of all time, getting its sequel console soon that I've already pre-ordered. My favorite console of all time is the Switch. First console I ever bought, like with my own money. It has my favorite. I go back and forth on which one I'd put number one all time for my favorite game, whether it's Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I think Tears of the Kingdom is a better game in terms of like actual gameplay, but I think since it's a reused map, like the first time playing through Breath of the Wild is unmatched for me. I think that one might wind up being number one. But that, I mean, the ability to switch from handheld to the TV was amazing. I had a lot of fun with that. Tabletop mode's cool. The Joy-Cons, I got like a couple Mario parties for that system, being able to take it somewhere, playing with friends, or playing Mario Party, huge. And I'm so excited for the Switch too. It's coming out at a terrible time in terms of like financial and world trade that is very dependent on. So we'll see how everything plays out, but pre-ordered and I'm fucking ready to go, dude. I am so excited. Like I said, I took Thursday and Friday off from work to dedicate to Switch 2 time. So look forward to that, guys. We'll be streaming all that shit on here.
This picture is trying to kill Juan Soto, by the way.
Yeah, keeps hitting him.
No, twice now, almost. If you hit him, it's an automatic walk. If you let yourself take the contact, you get to go to first base. But not everybody wants to take that contact, so they hit the ice spice.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? So
they hit the ice spice.
So, yeah, well they back it up. Especially.
Oh, that's not what I think of when I think of the ice spice.
Yeah, he just walked. That was fourth ball. Okay, sorry, but I meant like they do like they back it up and they shimmy a little bit.
Because when I think of the ice spice, hold on, this is what I think of. Make sure I'm in frame. The fucking like.
Kind of. I mean, in the sense, it's like I don't know. So yeah, here's my batting stance, right?
Right.
And the ball's coming here, and I go,
But to me, the signature of it is the hand over the fucking cooch.
Oh, definitely. Which again, I've never seen an MLB player hit the hand over the cooch. One of these days, maybe we'll see it.
It would be a Mets player.
It would be allegedly. Juan Binary and Butch Beatty and Swaggy for JJ.
Oh. Yep. Is it time for what we've been on?
Sure is.
Let's kick it off with what we both been on.
Give him a Thunderbolt.
Yeah, we both saw Thunderbolts.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. It was good, man. That was definitely one of the better MCU movies in a minute.
Most mature movie they've made in a while. Best movie they've made in a while. It actually ties into something else that they're like something we know is coming out. Not some movie that maybe has a concept of possibly maybe being made 5 years in the future. No, this movie's coming out in like 2 months.
I got reminded of the Eternals post-credit scene where they tease Blade.
Yeah.
And then all that has fallen through.
This movie teases Fantastic Four, which we know is coming out soon. That is a guarantee. The movie is on its way. You are going to see it. It's there. And that's pretty awesome. It's nice to see this universe is actually being treated like a connected universe for once. It's been a while. And the movie itself, I mean, just fantastic. It was funny. I got genuinely funny at times, which has not happened in a while for a lot of these movies. Great emotional moments. Great concept of this movie does not end on a big, standard CGI fight. The movie ends on, hey man, you need friends.
Which
that's awesome.
Which is, I guess I'd have to keep. I'm losing track of MCU movies. I heard one complaint is that this is the 4th MCU movie in a row that's ended like that. I'm trying to.
know.
I've been out of the loop with MCU, so I kind of forgot. But I was just watching some review, and they were like, "This is kind of how these keep ending." Well, because I think they would have had to do. I think that how Doctor Strange ended with Wanda. I know she kind of like doesn't she kind of like sacrifice herself kind of with the stones falling on her?
But I don't know that that's like the same thing. Like we're talking about
regardless of if it's in the same breath or not, like it's done well.
Well, and also the sequence was fantastic of like going through breaking down the walls, literally, in that sense, and like
seeing the rooms.
Yeah, and when it's like, well, you said this is the cozy room, whatever. This is the nicest one. We have to go find the worst one. You have to overcome.
And the fact that was his cozy room
is it's pretty insane.
Yeah,
poor guy.
Crazy cozy room.
Shout out Bob.
Shout out Bob, who was not the original actor planned for that role. And as much as I love Steven Yeun, and he's a phenomenal actor, I'm glad they have who they have doing it. He did such a great job.
I did not know Steven Yeun was the original.
He was originally going to be Sentry. I think he stopped being able to do it because of like scheduling conflicts or something.
Yeah.
And he would have done great. I love Steven Yeun, but man, you know what? Fuck it, dude. The guy they had to do it was great.
Florence Pugh's incredible in this movie. Now she's a great actress. She's incredible in everything. And obviously, like David Harbour is a good actor, so it's not surprising to see.
Yeah, that's another thing with Marvel recently. It's like they get great actors and then like aren't giving them enough to do, considering how great they are. I'm thinking of like Christian Bale being lost in like Thor: Love and Thunder, even though his moments were good, but like
a separate movie. Whenever he was on screen, he was acting his ass off in a different movie.
But it's
like just not.
If you get those kind of those level of actors, please give them stuff to do. Like Sebastian Stan is a great actor, and he didn't have as much to do, but like I think over the course of it, they've been giving him enough.
It wasn't his strongest movie just because there wasn't much going on for him specifically.
But Florence Pugh, per minute, he was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pugh was awesome. Harbour was awesome.
I love John Walker, Wyatt Russell. I love John Walker because. I don't know. I just love the concept. The idea like he's not like he's not a good hero. Like he's
he's an asshole.
I don't even know how much of an asshole he really is.
I think he's a pretty big asshole, but also that's the point. That's the whole point, though, is that he's just kind of a dick, and that's
is he really though?
I don't think he means to be, but yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, the big problem was it's like comic book John Walker is a bad person, but like in the show, he wasn't. Like they didn't write him to be like they low-key wrote him to be a good person, trying his best but not being able to do it. Like he kept offering like his hand out to like Bucky and Falcon, and they kept slapping his hand away.
Trying to make nice with them, and they were just kind of being dicks.
They were dicks to him, and it's like, guys, come on. Like I get having like you should have a problem with Captain America, like there being a new Captain America, especially working for the U.S. government after Civil War. Yeah. But don't take it out on him. He's trying his best.
I think he's an asshole in Thunderbolts.
Yes, they definitely upped it, but like but it was more funny than like mean spirited. Like it was more just like, I don't know. It was more like him just like being kind of cocky to a degree, and then just like, but it wasn't like I wasn't like, oh, he's rude. It's just more of like he's blunt, which normally is the same thing usually for people, but I think they found the balance with him.
Yeah,
where it's
I don't
like
dislike him at all. Like I love him. He's not my favorite character, but I mean I like him.
I love him. And I
liked him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought he was what he should like. For people that like hated him, like you were supposed to. That's the whole. You're not supposed to like this guy. He's like, like I guess a false claim to the throne or whatever.
Yeah.
At least
it was just
to see this because you're not seeing through his POV.
I just loved seeing like the kind of tragedy of like being a good soldier, following orders, and then being discarded once they don't need you. Seeing how that affects him.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that whole storyline with him. Yeah. And like I saw one edit because apparently him, like Wyatt Russell and the actress who plays Ghost were in like an episode of Black Mirror where they were a couple. And I saw one edit of like their characters in this like interspliced with that, and I was like, fuck. The way they were like kind of quipping back and forth with each other, enemies to lovers between these two could go pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shipping it. But I mean, that was just a good like. I'm like, Misfits family coming together. Like, is James Gunn somehow involved with this movie? Like, This was done really well.
Yeah, I thought so. I had a good time with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. Maybe top 10 Marvel movie. Maybe it sneaks in at the bottom of the 10.
I think it's top 10 for me. It's probably 10th or 9th, but it is.
Yeah, it would be at
10.
the bottom of the 10th. It doesn't, to me, my favorite four, or at least the big four for me, are like Captain America 2 and 3, Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then Guardians 1 and 3, especially 3. Guardians 3 could be my favorite like MCU movie. That movie just it was so good. It just hit the emotional beats perfectly, and it landed for me so well.
Yeah.
But anyways, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was a lot of fun.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up. I like Thunderbolts.
So glad I went to go see that one.
Yeah.
But what else you been on? Or
so will be the show, which I've already discussed a bit. Merzik. So Merzik.
Shocking.
So Maruha, I've been talking about this band Maruha since they came out with their first EP a couple years ago. They just had their lead single for their debut album. So the album's coming out in September. You have to wait a little bit for it, but the lead single is probably the best song they've ever made. So that is certainly a good indicator for how good this album's going to be. I think it's already been an incredible year for albums, and I'll talk about another one here in a second that I think is right up there with some of the other ones I've heard this year. But yeah, just phenomenal song. I love it. I'm smitten with it completely. As far as albums go, the first one I listened to was Gollywog by Billy Woods. Billy Woods had a couple of albums in 2023 that were really good. Gollywog is also fantastic. Love me some Gollywog. It's almost like it's got some horror themes in it. It's a pretty long album. It's over an hour long. Got some features on it. They're really good. The singles were nice. I was excited for it. It was really good. I liked it a lot. The second album I listened to, however, was the Pink Pantheress album. I got a mixtape, technically. She said it was a mixtape. Holy shit. Yeah, she's one of them ones. Incredibly fun album. I'm going to be listening to Double Mix, she's beautiful. I'm going to be listening to this shit all summer, though. This is the summer anthem for me. Last year, it was Smile by Porter Robinson. And then also some Brat, of course. But no, this year it's that new Pink Pantheress mixtape. I forget what it's called. I'll have to check it out. I've listened to it 8 times, though.
I'll have to tap in because I've liked what I've heard from her before.
I listened to it, I think, 6 times the day it came out. I could not stop listening to it. I'm still putting that shit on regularly. I love it. I absolutely love it. No question about it. I think it's, in my opinion, it's the best thing she's ever made. But it's, and I think she said that herself. She's like, this is my favorite project I've ever put out. I had a lot of fun experimenting with this one, and yeah, you can tell she's having a good time making it, and I definitely had a good time listening to it. So, one of them ones in every facet. Great musician, beautiful woman. Women are beautiful. I wish they were good people. But do you think Pink Pantheress fucks with men who make 2156? I sure hope so.
I think she might.
I honestly think she would, because the first song of the album, she's talking about fucking the weed man, right? So it's I don't know. Maybe she would.
Who's the first girl you asked that about?
Fuck. I've asked it about a few, probably.
Well, in the group chat here, I think you've only asked about it one time, and I was like, nah, this one doesn't.
Oh, I Mina Kimes.
Oh yeah, and I said no. She fucks with people who make 21.58 an hour.
Yeah, I think Mina Kimes was one. There was another one I thought, but maybe not.
At least in this group chat, I think it was just the one.
But no, definitely, yes, sir. All right. And then Kali Uchis, new Kali Uchis album. I've never listened to a Kali Uchis album, but I've heard her music's really good. And this one was getting great reviews. I put this one on. Yeah, it was fantastic. I liked it a lot. Thought it was really pretty. Not something I would come back to a ton just because it's not really my lane. It's not really the kind of thing I typically, would gravitate towards. But I respect it for what it is. It's pretty awesome. So there's some songs on there that I genuinely just really love that I will be coming back to. It's a great album. So great new music Friday. 3 awesome new albums. New song was really into that's setting up for a new album. So successful new music Friday. And of course, Andor. I watched episodes 7, 8, 9 of Andor after we left here last week. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating when I say that episode 8 of Andor is possibly the greatest episode of television.
Oh my god! Damn,
Yeah.
I gotta tap in.
No, I mean it is like better than I'm cycling through all my favorite episodes of Breaking Bad. I think it's better than all of them. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm not sure I like any Avatar: The Last Airbender episode better than episode 8 of season 2 of Andor. It is. It gives you no room to breathe in the best way possible. It is that good. And episode 9 is almost as good as episode 8, and it's so insane how good episode 8 is. You almost forget how incredible episode 9 is as well because you're still processing episode 8.
Damn.
But it's the best arc of the show they've done so far, and the finale comes out tonight. I don't know if I might watch it tomorrow because if I watch it tonight, like the Mets game is going to end at like 10. I'm going to watch Andor till 1 o'clock. I don't think I want to do that, so I might just wait until tomorrow to tap in. We'll see. But if I watch it after I get home tomorrow, if I time it right, I should finish the third episode and final episode right before the Mets game tomorrow. So we'll see. But yeah, Andor's incredible. You really do got to tap in. It's not just the best Star Wars show. It's like the best thing Star Wars ever put on the screen. Like,
wow.
You know me. You know I'm plugged in to everything Star Wars. Yeah, it's. You sometimes even forget you're watching Star Wars because like there's no like Jedi like religious bullshit in here. You know what I mean? There's no like you're not looking at space monks. It is it's entirely it's galactic politics. It's revolution. It's messy. It's emotional. Awesome. And I love the Jedi shit. Don't get me wrong. I love the fucking space monk bullshit. Like a lot of my favorite Star Wars games have me and when I play the Old Republic, I almost don't even really care much about the non-Force user storyline. So I find that less interesting. But no, this shit's awesome. It's genuinely awesome. The floor is yours, sir. What else you been on? Yes, sir.
So, like I said, I've been playing some Pokemon. I did get a lot here of these fake copies of games. I got Fire Red in there right now, but then it also came with Emerald, Sapphire, Leaf Green, Ruby, and then I do also have these other Game Boy games here, The Incredibles, and then Spyro, one of the Spyro games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably been the biggest thing. So now that I've finished making that One Too Soon video, now I gotta watch the show for the next one. I'm gonna be doing Constantine, the 2014 show, which was one season, which I haven't seen since it came out. I did watch it when it came out, and I remember feeling like it was meh.
Yeah.
But at the very end, it picked up like crazy, and I remember being like, fuck, y'all took way too long to get good. Like, you guys are not getting another season. So we'll see if that holds true. Okay, the current team. Okay, we have one boy. Okay, for a while it was nothing but women. Like I just kept only catching female
like
Pokemon.
My heart gold, my soul silver too.
Including like the Pikachu I was gonna catch. I accidentally killed my first encounter, which was a boy, and then I ended up catching the girl. But we got a Pikachu named Roberta, and then we have a Pidgey named Enrique, a Beedrill named after Paige Beckers, named her Paige, a Mankey named Maddie, a Geodude named BB after Cooper BB, and then my Charmeleon is Miko after Miko Ranson. And all of them are named except for that Pikachu are named after Dallas athletes.
Next boy you get, it's got to be Cooper or Flag, but you got to do.
We'll see. It depends on the quality of Pokemon.
That's fair. Yeah, next good Pokemon.
If I had realized that my starter was a female, I would have named them Paige. Instead, it's Miko. Trans Miko here, I guess.
Must be.
But yeah.
Just like Mark Vientos, who was just at bat. By the way, he's on first base now.
Other than that, I think that's it.
I probably real quick should explain, so I don't sound insane. Should explain why Juan Soto is non-binary and why Mark Vientos is trans.
It's funnier if you don't.
There was somebody tweeted something about like Juan Soto is always hanging out in the bullpen and now with the other hitters, and I think the reason for that is either he's non-binary or he's high functioning autistic, and like insane thing to say, but like for
crazy jump.
Like I think Vientos got sick, so he was out of the lineup for a few days, and so somebody was like, I think somebody had asked like what's going on with Vientos. Somebody else replied, he's like, oh, Mark Vientos is transitioning, and that's why he's not in the lineup. And his nickname is Swaggy V, and so he was like, Swaggy Vajayjay over here. It's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did you get the idea that Mark Vientos, because he lost a little weight because he got fucking sick? Like, no shit, he's sick. Like, I don't know. But, and somebody had joked about lesbian Brett Beatty a while before. So, like, now we've got the big three of Juan Binary, Butch Beatty, and Swaggy Vajayjay. So, I don't know. That does it for me. If that does it for you.
Yeah. So, that's gonna do it for this one. And as never before, next week's episode will be on this channel.
We've come to an accord, and the accord is that I don't upload anything besides the podcast. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to take half, and I asked him, like, yo, do you just want all of them? And he said, yeah, I'll take it. So I'm just here for the ride now. So it's cool. More consistent upload schedule for the podcast. You won't have me forget to upload the podcast. You'll get it on. No more way too late NFL mock draft. So
and I think we still have like 3 lost pods.
I got the archive somewhere. I'll have to find it, and I'll post the archival footage. I'll make it all one big megapod.
Oh my god! And, you have to like export, go to sleep.
Yeah, something like that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, you guys take care though.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep gaming. And still, fuck Nico Harrison, fuck Jerry Jones.
He's not absolved of his sins.
That is not a get a jail out of free card for you, dude. Anyways,
unless that was part of the trade, then to be seen.
I don't even if it was.
Yeah, the heartbreak of getting Luka ripped from you. I get it.
I still wouldn't make that trade.
Okay. Bye, guys.